Jesus Christ, you people suck. Wow. Wolverine on it.
Back in the days when we played video games, it was hardcore for the nerdy and lazy. Now things have changed and all our video games are also for the casual and lady. But that's okay, you know the score. We told you a million times before. Playing consoles, not just games, is in the past. And every week you listen to the best damn internet radio crew. It's the N4G podcast. It's the N4G podcast.
All right, it's time for another week of N4G Radio. This is episode 644 for March 22nd, 2021. And on the show this week we have Anthony,
Hello.
we have John,
Hello.
and we got the Wombat too.
Yep.
Whew.
Are we not Drew? Oh no, he's just on the thing. He's asleep. I
Oh.
honestly thought Drew was here because I was looking at the side of Discord and I saw him up there and then I realised he's actually on, but he's asleep.
Yeah, we can see that John's just playing Binding of Isaac, of course.
Oh, can you see that on there? Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course you can. Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
linked in it. Yeah.
I can see
Of
what
course
you're
I'm
doing.
playing Binding of Isaac. I mean,
I don't play
What else
Overwatch
is there?
during the show. What's wrong with you?
exactly.
Anyway.
I thought I saw you the other day on there. See, because I see you on the dashboard a lot, but you're obviously just a lot of the time it just says like home or Xbox, and then when it doesn't, it says Overwatch.
But yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, obviously.
it also might be I'm playing something that's not out yet. I don't think that'll tell
you've
you
got
that
it-
you're playing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have that set, don't you? Yeah, of course. Some games you have to set that up.
Oh, no, I don't set the game, so sometimes the game doesn't even show that you're playing it. It just says
Oh,
you're
I
on the
thought-
dashboard. It's like it's built into the back end or something. I don't know. It's
Oh, that's
it's
clever.
weird because I very rarely ever just sit on the dashboard. So
Well, that's clever.
Well,
Well, you've
yeah.
obviously been playing something that you're not meant to speak about, so that's fine.
Oh no. There's I think the only stuff I'm playing that's not out yet is still Kaze. I don't think I'm playing anything else that's not out. But the embargo dropped on that, so it don't matter. I can talk about it. I just don't know if you can see me playing it. But there was a lot of news this week, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of video games played. But I'll kick it off with you, John, and see if there's anything that you have played
That isn't Binding of Isaac.
that isn't Binding of Isaac.
I have I decided that I will I fired up the Marvel update, the Marvel Avengers, since it got its patch,
Mhm.
its XS patch. It looks nice.
The
it
image
plays really
quality of
smoothly.
that upgrade is incredible.
Yeah, it does look very crisp and it plays incredibly smoothly. It is still the same game, unfortunately.
It's still kind of a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it's convoluted menu system. What is it with like these type of games and wanting to use your like thinking we've all got mice and like having that interface where you have to move like you're moving a mouse around? That's annoying.
You mean
idea.
the Destiny method?
Yeah, the Destiny
Destiny
menu.
method.
Yeah.
Fucking annoying.
I hate that. Yeah.
But again, it's nice that it's happened. It's nice that they are putting in there. You've got the new character as well, Hawkeye. He came with this patch. Was it Hawkeye or was it Kate Bishop? No, Kate Bishop was
Kate
first,
Bishop
yeah.
was before, and no offense to
Okay.
Wombat, I know he loves Hawkeye, but goddamn, when your first two characters are basically the same Hawkeye,
Yeah, that's stupid.
uh,
Yeah, that I don't understand unless the story's linked. But even then, you want variety. You want, if you're going to do Kate Bishop first, don't do Hawkeye next. Do something else, like I don't know, Black Panther, who has been pushed back. Do something different. Yeah, that's odd because again, those people that do play this and want to level up each character, they're going to level up Kate Bishop and then literally spend probably well, not the same amount of time, more time now because it takes longer to level up, doing almost identical stuff, because I should imagine their movesets are very similar. But who knows? I've not played either of them, so I can't attest to that. But yeah, that's nice that it's got an update. And again, it looks the actual the technical side of things. It looks great on the Xbox, and all you had to do is launch. Well, you didn't even have to launch a game. You just have to move it to your internal. If it isn't already on there, move it to your internal thing, and you just press a button, and you've got the new version, and it syncs your saves and everything.
It's crazy how easy that was.
That's just bonkers, isn't it? This is a new wave. This is that's truly the next generation.
Yeah. Too bad it didn't work on the PlayStation.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to allude to that. I thought you might want to do that on the.
I mean, that's not even
news.
It's not even newsworthy. It's just irritating that once again, if you didn't have Avengers installed, you have to download it, you have to load it up, you have to upload the save, you have to download it. Oh my god!
Apparently, you also have to have the PS4 version installed at the same time as the PS5 version.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Is you had
it was the same way for Spider-Man.
Yeah, the Spider-Man was a pain in the ass because I didn't have it installed. And I had to reinstall it, upload the save. God, I don't understand how people think that. Like, how do you look at that from a perspective of a developer? Or, I mean, I guess maybe they don't have the option. Like, is it not built into the PlayStation 5 ecosystem?
Well, clearly not.
Yeah, like you just can't pull the save from the cloud and.
Yeah, clearly not. Because that is crazy. To have to jump through those hoops just to get your save over, and bearing in mind that Avengers isn't a small game. You have to download it twice if you had, for example, deleted it from the, or if you made the mistake of deleting the PS4 version before installing the PS5. You got to do it all again.
The Xbox version's 106 gigabytes.
I don't know if you've got room on the PlayStation 5, have you?
It is. It's bloated.
It's Call of Duty level, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bloat. It's what it is. It's just bloat. I like reading all the stories about how the PlayStation version's smaller because of Kraken.
Because of what?
Kraken compression. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, I don't know.
Y'all make fun of like
hard drive smaller.
Well, y'all make fun of like people and their buzzwords, and yet you're over here going, "Well, the PlayStation version's smaller because of Kraken compression."
You got to be smoking Kraken if you think I'm going to download 100 gigs worth of Avengers on my PlayStation.
Well, it's only 70 gigs on the PlayStation.
Okay, you got to be smoking Kraken if you think I'm going to download 70 gigs worth of Avengers on my PlayStation.
I'm terrible. I still have Call of Duty installed. I don't even play it. It's eating up like 120 gigs of my hard drive.
Crazy, isn't it? It's just bonkers. And I know why that there aren't. I know why there's not so much storage on the new systems, because it's expensive. It's a new type of storage. But I was so hoping that we would be talking about 5 terabyte drives at this point, not still looking at, well, in the case of PlayStation, 820 gigabytes.
It's 600.
Oh, is it? After the
after all the other stuff, it's only
stuff, yeah.
600. Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of almost back to the beginning of last generation, and games are so much bigger now. You know, those
a 5 terabyte
textures.
A 5 terabyte NVMe drive, John, that would run you about $1,000.
Yeah, that is the problem. It's gonna be proprietary cards all over again. It'll get cheaper obviously as time goes on, but still, it's and bearing in mind that at least Microsoft have a reasonable solution, which is you buy their one, so you haven't got a problem. Whereas with Sony, they're gonna put a list out, and you hope you get the right one, because if not, it might not work.
Oh, but don't burn up your PlayStation. I think that's what's taking them so long, is I think they're having troubles keeping them cool.
Yes, from what I can gather. But it's interesting that it'll be interesting. When we get all of those inevitable stories about don't get this one because it fried my PlayStation. It's going to happen.
Yep, And plenty of people are going to crack those side panels, trying to take them off. Have you ever heard that somebody take one of those
right.
off?
No.
It makes a really loud snapping. It scares the shit out of me.
Well, I'm sure they're designed fine, and if not, you can get a replacement now. Sony's not suing everyone who tries to make them. I also tried out Skyrim and Fallout 4. Now they've got their FPS boost and running 60 frames per second. Just sort of give them a try. They look nice, especially Skyrim. I don't know why, but that just feels super nice to play. I didn't spend a huge amount of time in them. I just wanted to see if I could notice a difference. And then I played some more Fortnite, of course, and the new season has started off. Apparently, the story that they're going for now, I didn't even this week has been an eye opener for me. Fortnite, I just play it thinking there's an overarching story, and apparently this chapters is co-written by the Russo brothers. It's like, well, okay, so there's all of that. I don't understand why there's a story, but apparently
there's also speculation that people think they figured out the voice actor. Yeah, I was trying to be coy about it, but
John's all about them spoilers, man.
It's on the internet.
Shout it out.
It's on the internet.
But yeah, that The Rock may be voicing the Foundation.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they've got enough money to pay him for the job. So, and then finally, I've just played more of Beach Buggy Racing 2 Island Adventure, which continues to be a very adequate karting game. So that's it, really.
Yeah, it's definitely adequate.
Yeah. I'm not gonna again. I'm finishing up a review, so that will be happening this week. But it is, it's solid. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's cheap, and it's certainly plenty to do, plenty of content. So if you like karting games, it's not. You could certainly do a hell of a lot worse.
You could have bought Garfield kart.
Oh, don't do that. Yeah.
John.
Don't do that either.
I miss Garfield.
I miss Garfield. I used to love Garfield as a kid, but I can't imagine that Garfield Kart Racer has gotten any better with that age.
No. It's still bad. All right, I'll move on to Tony.
All right. Played and finished Donut County within the last hour.
Yeah, that game's pretty short.
Yeah, I mean, it was cute. It was free on Game Pass.
It's the perfect Game Pass game.
You know what? I didn't like that I played Call of the Sea.
Really?
I played that and I'm like, all right, I get I'm wandering around looking for pieces of a puzzle. I could just brute force, and I went, and this moves so slow, and it was too much like The Witness, and I'm like, I hate the fucking Witness. We're done here. The concept, yep. I'm sure someone loves it, but I have such a bad taste in my mouth from The Witness. It's not gonna fly for me. I did like the setup. That's about it. Played a game called Talk. It's a puzzle game on the computer. It's pretty casual. TOK, but yeah.
That's how they say it in Boston.
Mm.
Who you talking to?
Yeah, we were talking about Pacer last week and how I hadn't played it because I was installing it. Played it. It's all right. It's not gonna set the world on fire. It's fine. I
mean, Wipeout didn't set the world on fire.
No, but they have this. This is gonna be really weird because it's minimal, but the forcing you to drive whatever ship that they give you. I know it's all based on what you install into the ship, that it's all just otherwise aesthetics that change. But why even offer that at that point? If I'm going through the story mode, which really doesn't have a story, if you're going through the campaign, whatever, don't show me what vehicles I can drive. Just have one vehicle. What's the point of putting all this effort in if I can't choose the vehicle that I want to drive? it's just such a weird thing. And then I'm driving the same course over and over and over, and then backwards before I see anything new. And it's like, I get it, but I kind of hate that. And there's one mode. There's some really neat stuff. I love the it totally cuts off the last person race. I like the ones where you have to get
races.
Yeah. I like the ones where you just have to destroy other vehicles. That's neat too. And of course, there's just a basic race. But fuck the shield race. What a unfun thing. We're gonna have you race other vehicles, and everything takes damage. Someone has a machine gun, and those just chew through the shields. And your shield is just dropping all the time, so you have to keep hitting the shields. But you're driving this course in reverse, and clearly some of it was designed to be driven the other way. Like, it wasn't supposed to be driven. Like, it's pretty easy in most racers to flip the course if it's just a flat track, but there's certain turns that you do, and I'm like, this is clearly like, I've already raced this course one way, and now you're asking me to race the other way, and these turns don't feel the same, or don't feel right going the other way. And I hated it. But other than that, like, it's a good Wipeout clone. It's Wipeout. There's really nothing else to say, and I guess maybe that's the problem. It just, you can't set the world on fire with this because Wipeout didn't set the world on fire, and Wipeout's been done already. Yep. Like, it's good. It's a good game. I don't want to put anyone off of it. I don't know the price of it, mind you. That might be
$29.99, I think.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, it's a good racing game. The shield matches can go fuck themselves, though. That is the most unfun form of racing I've ever played. But I was enjoying that, and I finished Nocia, which is the proper way of saying it, unless they've decided to pronounce the word wrong, because it's based off the word gnosis, Latin and all that. Yeah, goddamn, that was a really good visual novel. Time travel epic sort of thing. Like, I was really impressed when the game ended, but then there's, of course, some secret ending, and once you do that, like, they wrap up everything really, really well. Great translation job. I really think that's a game more people should play, if they're into visual novels. Otherwise, you're not gonna enjoy your time there, because the gameplay isn't really there. But yeah, that's it for me. I spent a lot of time in Nocia and Pacer. So,
all right, well, I will move on to the Wombat.
Yeah, so I really haven't played much of anything. I've actually been out of internet for a couple days.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, just came back this morning. So I've been out since the morning of Friday. So basically all weekend until this morning.
Oh, a weekend without internet is the worst.
Yeah, especially when most of our TV in the house, like cable TV, is internet cable TV, not actually with a cable box. We do have a cable box, but it's only on one TV, obviously. So yeah, it's been interesting, but I'm back up and running now. So really all I played on PlayStation VR a game called Gorn.
Oh yeah, I heard about this game.
Yeah, it's like a gladiator fighting game. And out of the box, it's really, like, ridiculously gory and over the top bloody. But it has a low violence mode where all the characters are piñatas. And so my son wanted it for the low violence mode, and it's not bad. I mean, it controls a little weird. It takes some getting used to, but pretty much all VR games are like that. So it's, you just beat the crap out of guys in an arena and pick up different weapons, and when the gore's turned on, it's really over the top, knocking people's heads and arms, legs off.
Yeah, as you say, grabbing their arms and then beating them to death.
Ripping their hearts out and stuff like that. But in the piñata mode, they have candy hearts, and they they spill, instead of blood out of their mouth, they spill candy out of their mouth, and they have peppermint bones and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun. But so I played some of that this morning, and then Valhalla. I'm going through. I'm on the last story mission, but I'm not playing it yet. I'm going through and cleaning up some stuff first. So like I'm finishing up the raids and increasing my settlement, just to do some stuff before I finish the game off. Before I finish the story off, I should say.
I didn't realise that there was a story mode.
Of
In Valhalla?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
Oh, I thought you meant Valheim. Sorry.
No.
John's
I thought
not paying
it was sort of
attention.
a clever joke. But no, the yeah. So like I said, I'm just going through and again polishing some stuff off, and I'm excited for the DLC that they announced.
Oh yeah, the Druids.
Yeah, the first DLC takes place in Ireland, and has you going
Cool.
up against druids. So it ought to be cool.
I hope to God they take their weird sci-fi element and implement leprechauns.
That would be pretty funny, actually. But we'll have to see. But I when I first started playing this game, I thought that there's no way I'm going to put as much time into this as Odyssey, because I just didn't get into it as quickly. But the more I've played of it, the more I have gotten into it just as much. So I will probably do. I probably won't platinum the game because there's just so much. But I will probably do most of the content that's there. So I'm not. There's nothing that I feel like I have to move on to immediately. So, and I'm not, even after 90 hours, I'm not to the point yet where I'm like, oh God, this game, I need to just be done with it. So I'll probably keep playing it for a little while and clean as much stuff up as I can until I decide I'm completely done. That's it.
All right. I will go through and take a look. So I played a couple things on Switch this week. I checked out Cathedral. It's. I don't want to call it a Metroidvania yet because I haven't really got anything that like opens up progress or somewhere else, but it definitely has that map, that square kind of map thing that shows you where you've been, where you need to go, where the doors are. It's all melee focused combat. You play this little knight with a sword, and really all you can do is jump and slash and down slash. So far it's fairly simple. I seem to be collecting a shitload of coins, and I'm not exactly sure what they do yet, but then again I only played through the first area to get into the next dungeon. It very much reminds me visual-wise of like an NES game. It's got very simplistic design, very simplistic animation. It's interesting. I want to play a little bit more.
It looks like, in gameplay-wise, it looks like a Wonder Boy game, but the art style looks like Wizards and Warriors.
Yeah, it gave me a very big Wizards and Warriors vibe.
Also, it like a quick look, everything's listing as a Metroidvania, so I'm going to take a wild guess and say yes.
Yeah, I haven't got any items yet, but there is an inventory screen. The first thing that I collected after finishing the first area was a map that would show me where secrets are. So I don't really know that counts as a Metroidvania item, but sure. I also checked out the collection for the Neo Geo Pocket games, because I actually had a Neo Geo Pocket. Actually, I still have a Neo Geo Pocket. But they just released a collection. I think there's 8 games in it. And it has, of course, the biggest game that was released on the system, the SNK versus Capcom Match of the Millennium. It has a couple other fighting games. It has a Metal Slug game, which I played. It's weird going back to Portal.
Does it not have both Metal Slug, like round 1 and 2?
I can't remember if it's got 1 and 2, but I know
I think it has both. I looked at it.
I didn't play everything that was on it. I was just kind of toying around with it. I really like the presentation of those things because the collection just gives you like a list of the carts. You pick the cart and then you play it, but you can change like the background of which Neo Geo Pocket color you want. You can turn on and off filters. You can zoom in and out of the screen. One of the coolest things is like for each game, when you select it, you can look at the box that it came in, and then you can slowly open the box, and then you can slowly open the plastic case inside and take the cartridge out, and they're like really detailed 3D models. It's actually
That's
really
cool.
cool. Yeah, it's really cool. But it's weird going back and playing these games because they're so basic visually, and like the Neo Geo Pocket only has 2 buttons, so playing a game like fucking SNK versus Capcom is really weird with 2 buttons.
It also doesn't help that like I've only ever played the Neo Geo Pocket Color once, and a lot of my memory of that playing a Sonic game I've never played since was the fact that it has those micro switch controllers, which I mean nothing has that now. It's all analog.
I can hear the clicking of the Neo Geo Pocket anytime I mention it, of the little analog stick. I love that little system. It was a nice little system. So that's out. There's like I forget. I think there's like 8 games on it, and it's a nice collection considering that those games I think are like $8 a pop if you buy them separately. So getting 8 of them for $40 is not a hateful deal. Yeah, there's that sound. It's the sound of a whole other O.
It's the choice of a new generation.
I mean, it's just so sad. With the Ancient Gods 2 dropping, I decided to go back and try to finish the Ancient Gods 1.
I don't even know what the Ancient Gods is.
It's Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal's DLC packs.
Notoriously hard DLC packs.
I will tell you that, like, my palms were sweaty. Mom spaghetti. Playing the Ancient God. Holy mother of God, those things are hard. I mean, when you're in a room with, like, a ton of fodder enemies, and then 2 cyber demons show up, and then after you beat them, 2 marauders show up.
And that was my issue with that game, was I had no issue but it was like, here's a bunch of fodder enemies, all the fodder enemies this time, actual damage, and we're gonna have you fight 2 marauders who I still don't really understand the distancing of.
The marauders are not hard to fight. What's hard to fight about them is the fact that that dog is constantly running around.
Well, but that's just it. The dog you are supposed to avoid by only attacking them within, like, it's just, there's too much with those fucking things. I just want to shoot things.
This game gives me, like, severe anxiety of, like, how much you have to micromanage when you're running around. Like, between your armor, your grenades, your ammo, your health, it's just, and the platforming and the dodging, and it's just, I can only play Doom Eternal DLC, the Ancient Gods DLC, for about 45 minutes before I have to take a break. But I did make it to the part where you get to swim with the sharks. That's pretty fucking cool. That game is fucking cool. But God, is it hard. We already talked about Marvel. I jumped back into that as well. It's like completely the opposite end of the spectrum. I play one mission of that and I need to quit, and it's not because it's hard, it's because, oh my God, it's so fucking draining. It's just, I don't know what it is about that game. Kaze and the Wild Masks. I wanted to talk about this last week. If you have love for those old Super Nintendo mascot platformers, you need to play this game. It literally hits every note you could possibly want.
The good ones,
yes,
I hope.
Yes.
Because
the game,
PUBG is technically a mascot platformer.
but it's a bad video game. Yes. Kaze is a great video game. It's a fairly simple game. You have 2 actions. You have jump and you have your spin. You're a rabbit, so you have like the spin attack with your ears. All the levels are broken down kind of like a Super Mario World, where you've got World 1 and then you've got 7 levels within it. And at the end of the world, there's a boss. What I like about this game is it basically takes every trope. This game feels like a game that was designed by people who grew up playing those Super Nintendo games. So like there's an ice world with slippery, platforms. There is a world where you're riding on ropes and you've got to move up and down as they go back and forth. Kind of the hook of this game and part of the subtitle of the Wild Masks is that certain levels will end up giving you this mask that gives you these abilities of a different animal. So, for example, the first one that you get is a bird. You put on the bird mask and you can kind of tap the A button to fly through, obstacles and things like that. You get a shark one later that allows you to swim underwater. And like every level has 3 separate sets of collectibles, and these collectibles range from collecting the letters of her name, collecting like 100 gems, and then finally there are 2 hidden areas in each level, and these consist of collecting gems or defeating enemies. And here's the cool part: is if you collect all of those 2 parts in each world, it unlocks another level that's ultra challenging. So like there's
Sounds kind of like Mario and Star Road.
Yeah, exactly. So like if you'll see the level within the world, but it says, it's locked behind collecting 7 of these half pieces. And it gives you a reason to go back and play through the levels again. The things aren't hard to find, but they're definitely challenging to complete, and I like that. The levels aren't super long. You can kind of bounce through them pretty quickly, but going back through them gives it replayability. I'd say it'd probably take about 2.5, maybe 2 to 4 hours to finish the game, depending on how much you collect. And if you go back and do everything, it's probably 5 to 7 hours, just depending. But I really enjoyed it. It looks great. It's got that goofy Super Nintendo thing. Like, so the story is the 2 characters at the beginning, Kaze and her friend, are like the world they live in is cursed, and all of the vegetables become like anthropomorphic like creatures that you have to fight. So you're basically like jumping on giant carrots and corn stalks and shit like that. And the objective is for her to get to the end and rescue her friend. So
Nice.
it's got charming cutscenes. It looks really good. It's got that Super Nintendo look and feel, but more modernized. It's a really good game. And it comes from a developer out of Brazil, and they're just nailing it with this game. I really, really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite things I've played this year, and I think you should definitely check it out if you're into those kind of games.
I will definitely check that out.
Yeah. Like John, I went back and checked out a bunch of 60 FPS patches. I checked out Prey, which feels like a new game, especially with the latency that they fixed in that game. I also checked out Wreckfest, which now supports 60 frames per second on the Series X. And that game feels really nice now. I think that's it for that stuff. I'll run through the indie games real quick. I booted up Adios, and it did not have an invert Y-axis option, so I deleted Adios. I said adios. Undertale finally came to Xbox. I've never played this game.
It did.
Yeah, I've never played it. So I started to play through that. That game is weird.
That game is very much inspired by Moon, the anti-RPG from Japan that only released in English for the first time in the last year or so.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it yet. Like, I like the charm. I like the aesthetic. The battle system is fun, but I feel like I'm not supposed to use the Like, the game kind of makes me feel I shouldn't use the battle system.
I mean, the
You can do either way.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, you have to make the choice early on. You're either gonna fight everything or you're not.
I kind of like fighting stuff.
I mentioned before, my son and his friends are all obsessed with Undertale because not only because of the game itself, which my son finished on the Switch, but because if you log into Roblox at any given time, there are 100 million different Undertale spin-offs on Roblox. Like, it's got to be one of the number one things that gets spun off on Roblox.
Huh. That's interesting.
So I first heard about Undertale long before the game came out, but the demo was out, and some of the music was too. And you know the smoke weed every day meme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a remix called because there's a character called Napstabluke, and it's the the track is called Napstablunt,
Oh Jesus.
and it's so good, it's so good, and that's how I found out about Undertale through an unrelated meme. Love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it some more. I've never played it. It just came to Xbox, which, by the way, if you've never played it like me, it's on Game Pass. Go
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah, a couple of my son's friends who know everything there is to know about Undertale, but have never actually played the game, were very excited about the Game Pass release, because now they get to play the actual game instead of just knowing everything there is to know about Undertale and its extended universe and an extended cast of characters that only exist in Roblox.
That's so weird.
It's very strange, like how my son and his friends end up learning about all these different like entertainment properties exclusively through Roblox. And then by the time they get around to seeing the actual like where Roblox got it from, they already know everything there is to know about it, and a whole bunch of extra stuff that people in Roblox just made up.
Huh. Also, I guess Undertale has like a unique dungeon per system it releases on, so I guess there's a new one for the Xbox.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I have this is the first time I ever had to pay duties on anything.
Dude.
Yes, I knew that was coming. I was just trying to plow through, but you got it in. Anyways, fuck, I'm thrown off now.
Sorry.
I bought the collector's edition off of Fangamer, and mainly because the soundtrack was on CD as well. And even if Undertale for some reason doesn't interest you, you should listen to the soundtrack because good God, is it amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why it's so big on Roblox, is because they put the music in everything.
Oh, perfect. Because, I mean, really, he did Toby Fox did an amazing job. I mean, that's what he did in the Earthbound community before. But, so I bought it because it was the game on PS4 plus the soundtrack. But it came with a locket. And I had to pay because the locket was included.
Oh,
And it's like metal and I think gold plated. Yeah.
nice. Yeah, my son, we bought him a couple of Roblox figures off of Fangamer for Christmas this year.
Man, kids get into the weirdest stuff.
I probably would have been into Roblox, you know.
No, I mean
So
Undertale. What I played on so far, it seems very like, I don't know, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Obtuse, weird.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something that,
field.
like, as a kid, I would have, like, I wouldn't have got into it like that. I don't know. Kids
You have
today,
to understand the character, the game itself might be, but well, you aren't far enough in to meet like Sans and stuff. I'm sure.
no,
So
I made it
really
to. Where'd I make it to? I made it a little past the cheese, the hole in the wall with the mouse with the cheese.
So the cast of characters, I think, what does it the most. Like, not only are they visually appealing, but like they get silly and weird. But I mean, there's also a little bit of weirdness. That's all I'm going to say, just in case someone wants to play this now that's on Game Pass. Throughout, I get it. I mean, he's really good at merchandising. Like, already Deltarune has merchandise, which is the Undertale. I'm going to say sequel. It might be a spin-off. It's related. But yeah, he's king at merchandising right away.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know if you guys could hear me because my entire system went down for a second. But we bought my son's figures off of Fangamer for Christmas.
Yeah, I heard
of Undertale. Okay.
Oh, Undertale. I was to say, I thought you said Roblox before.
I did say Roblox, and then by the time I corrected myself, I think my
Okay.
audio was gone.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so their Sans' a big deal in this house.
Was it Kenny Omega that walked out?
Yes, it was, and my son thought that was the coolest thing ever.
I mean, your son's not wrong.
Yeah.
What a weird thing to do. Walk out as Sans to the music.
Well, and also there were in his like little video package there were references to his time in New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. So it was like it was a mix of references both to Undertale and also to his time in New Japan Pro Wrestling and some other stuff. So it was a pretty intricate entrance, but my son saw him come out dressed as Sans to Megalovania and lost his mind.
Man, I feel out of touch with the youth of today. I've never played Undertale, so this is all new to me. Moving on, I played a game called Can't Drive This.
Could you drive this though?
So this game is interesting. It's a co-op game. And the objective is like one player drives the car, the other player builds the track as the game progresses.
So there was in Rayman 3, there was a bonus game on the GameCube only, where one person made the track on the Game Boy Advance, and the other player rode around in a shoe and had to drive it. Yeah, so it was awesome.
This is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of cool. Like when you get two people together. Yeah, like you can play it single player, but it kind of sucks. You build the track first and then you drive. It's a lot more fun if you're playing co-op and somebody's building the track in front of you while you're trying to drive it. That's pretty cool. Dungeon Defenders Awaken. I booted this up, and it kind of ran like shit. I don't know why, because it's not like a graphically intensive game. But I mean, it feels a lot like Dungeon Defenders, and third-person fucking tower defense stuff. It's fine. Explosion Aid is the next game from the guys that Mommy's Best Games, the guys that did Shoot 1 Up. This game kind of reminds me a lot of Bangai-O, but maybe not as bullet helly. You kind of float around as this character, and then you can move the right analog stick and shoot in different directions at these like creepy creatures. It's a fun shooter. I enjoyed it. Gangsta Paradise, yes, with an A.
Oh no!
And it's like old timey like mobster gangsters.
Oh, that makes
and this is a game where your character's on the left side of the screen. And you can move up and down, and you have like a line, and then you're shooting like plans like PvZ kind of. Like the characters come in from the right to the left, and you just got to shoot them. And you can upgrade guns. It feels like a fucking mobile game. It's not great. It's just. In Rays of the Light is a first-person exploration game. I didn't play a ton of it. Same with Mundown. Is that how you say that? Mundown? I guess that's a survival horror game. I have not played much of that. I booted it up, didn't have a chance to play more of it.
I saw a lot of people talking about that game on Twitter.
Yeah, I heard it was good. I have not had a chance to play it. It's got this really creepy kind of like black and white aesthetic. I don't know. I think I might go back to it and check it out, but I literally booted it up and then didn't have a chance to play it because I had to
definitely doesn't seem like my jam. So.
Yeah, no, I don't think you would like this game. Now, this next game you might like if there wasn't a better game, but RBI Baseball 21, I played that. Okay, maybe you wouldn't like it. It's still not very good.
Okay, yeah, probably not.
I think when they add this year, like create a player and like create a stadium or I don't know. I played it and I was like, wow, this feels like those old NES games where like the animation for the bat swing is like fucking stiff as a board.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair to them, that's what they're going for, is the old NES aesthetic, I think. But,
yeah. It's just weird because the graphics have gotten better with every iteration, but yet they still swing like stiff boards.
That's one of those games where you're absolutely right, what you just said, which is there's no reason to play it when there's a much better game that's now going to be on every system.
Yeah, exactly.
So RBI Baseball has kind of lost the only advantage that they had was that they were the only one on some of those other systems, and they have completely lost that advantage now. So
yeah, which that's about a
starts
month
to
away.
become kind of redundant.
Yep. Space Otter Charlie.
Did you say Space Otter, Charlie?
Yes. So this
Okay.
game has the story that, like, normally when I'm playing these little mini, like, indie games, I kind of, like, skip past the story on some of this. But this one, like, immediately threw me for a loop. Like, the plot of this game is that there's otters, and it's told from their perspective. And what happens is the world becomes too hot because of global warming, so all the humans leave the planet. And then the otters are like, well, this is cool, this is our planet. And then eventually it gets too hot for them. And then it goes through this like montage of the otters trying to develop space travel.
Sorry, the otters are the ones that decide it's their planet. I mean, nothing bigger than an otter is going to have problems with that.
Well, I don't know that there's other ones, but like all the humans left, so they're like, now we can just go wherever we want to go. But then they start developing space travel, and they fail like 3 times before. And then they finally perfect it, and then once they get into space, they get lost, so they run into this other ship, and then you got to search around, to collect some fuel and some upgrade materials for your ship so you can find a new planet to inhabit. So the game itself is one of those... How do you describe this? So you're on the ground, and you press the A button to jump, and then you direct it to where you want to go to land to another space. I think because you got space boots, so it's like anti-grav.
The thing is, you got space boots.
You got space boots, so they stick to the ground wherever you point to. Now, eventually, you do get a jetpack, so you can kind of steer yourself. But at first, it's just ankle jumping.
I'm still stuck on the fact we're otters.
I mean, his name's Charlie. You're not stuck on that fact? And they develop space travel? Come on.
Well, that's, Oz. Space travel. Okay.
Yeah, Space Otter Charlie. I'm also playing Bladed Fury, but I don't think I can talk about that game yet.
Does it involve
That
otters
sounds
and
like-
space travel?
No, it does
Well,
not.
that sounds
No.
like a really bad Steven Seagal movie.
It might be, except you play as a woman. You don't play as Steven Seagal.
Oh.
Sharon Seagal.
Sharon. Space Robinson is another a top-down perspective game. You run around with a wrench, breaking shit. I don't know, it didn't seem that interesting. And then I played a shitload of AVGN 1 and 2 Deluxe because it's finally out on Xbox and PlayStation now. Only took 5 fucking months to port that game.
Wow.
Other costs. That thing came out in October for the Switch and Steam. And it just came out Friday on Xbox and PlayStation. I love that fucking game. It's so good. But yeah, that's a long time. And then I play a lot of Overwatch. Because that 120 hertz patch is so fucking good. Even if every match I played last night I was playing with basically like the worst fucking people on the planet. And I don't listen to the chat, so it's not that kind of worst. It's just the fact that they can't play. I was tilted. I was not performing at my highest level, but the people I was playing with, my God, I felt like they'd never played that game. I was just getting rolled left and right. I think I played 15 matches, and I think I lost 12?
Jeez, oh Pete, get good, Ken.
Shit. I'm plenty damn good enough. It's just, sometimes, man, you get, the matchmaking in that game is to the point where sometimes if you play during a certain hour, you will either roll or get rolled. Like, the teams are not balanced at all on certain times.
That's actually my family crest. The motto on our family crest says "Roll or get rolled."
I mean, it's got to be one or the other.
Roll or get rolled.
I know this makes me sound like a snob, and I apologize, but I tried to go back to playing Overwatch at 60 frames per second. I can't. I can't do it.
Such a snob.
Dude, you have no idea how responsive. Like, I can play hit scan now, and it's just, oh my God.
Ken drinking Mountain Dew with his pinky up right now.
chewing on a Dorito.
He's got half a
Sucking
Slim
on
Jim
a
in his
Dorito.
mouth, like a long cigarette
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a
A monocle and a top
like a
hat.
filter, like one of those little holders.
Oh, the monocle and a top hat.
That's right.
Oh shit! Like I booted it back down. Oh, I accidentally booted it up. So when I play 120 hertz, I only turn it on in the dashboard, John. You know how like you can turn it on there. I only turn it on when I play Overwatch because if you turn it on, it like blacks out a bunch of the options on your TV that you can't change. So
Okay.
I don't want it running all the time. So I forgot to turn it on before I booted it up, and I played a match, and I was like, "Why is this so slow?" And I realized I hadn't turned the 120 hertz on. Oh my god, it feels so good. Like the aiming and the moving. Oh, it feels so good at 120 frames a second. I don't think I would notice it in every game because not every game requires that kind of like split-second response time. But when you bump into, which by the way, I passed 10,000 games played.
Wow.
I think I'm nearing 1,100 now. Or sorry, 11.
How many hours is that?
My game clock in the game says 1,700 hours,
Jeez, Pete.
but that only counts when you're actually in a match. So
Wow.
it doesn't count all the time I sit and wait on my cue to pop.
Wow.
Yeah, I played that game a little bit, a couple times. I feel like it eventually may become my favorite game of all time. I mean,
Wow.
It's not yet.
well,
1,700 hours in.
He
and
needs,
it's not
he
your
needs
favorite
to,
game.
he needs a couple more hours to decide.
do you really?
I guarantee you've put more time into Overwatch than you did into Metal Gear Solid.
I guarantee you I did not put more time into Overwatch than I have into Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh, okay.
Now, there's a game. There's a video game.
You're right. It
It is a great video game.
When's the movie come out? April, isn't it?
April 16th, motherfucker. I got a countdown
looking
clock. What are you
forward to that.
talking about?
Have you really?
No, I really
I'm
don't.
looking forward to that motherfucker.
Oh, shit, that's a sweet-ass figure, Wario. I'd buy that if I had $180.
What is it?
Autobot Optimus Prime.
Oh.
It's $179. I
It's an
can't
expensive hobby.
I can't pay for toys that are $180. I bought that Joker Harley Quinn statue, and I think I paid $150 for it. Every time I
Oh
look
my
at it, I'm
God.
like, oh my goodness. All right.
I almost bought a plush yesterday, which is like a limited. There's a song that just came out called "Long-Legged Larry." It's about a frog. Yeah. From a rapper I like, and he put out a plush of the frog, and I was like, no.
All right, so I'm going to blow your mind right now. Speaking of rap songs, you made me think of this. I watched Step Brothers yesterday for the first time in my life.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh, you've
Yeah.
never seen Step Brothers?
I've never seen it. It was on sale on Vudu
Oh,
this
wow.
weekend for $3. I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
Wow.
John and I apparently have the same opinion on Step Brothers.
I really don't like Will Ferrell.
Huh.
Oh man.
I
love
thought
that
the movie was fucking hilarious. I was just thinking of boats and hoes.
I think that movie is hilarious.
I think my favorite scene was the scene with Seth Rogen. Was that a fart? Tastes like onion and ketchup? Oh shit. No, but you made me think of that.
I enjoy that movie.
I thought it was hilarious, Ryan. I'm with you. So basically that movie's 50-50 split on this end.
Oh,
It
I
isn't
can
my
almost
favorite
guarantee.
Will Ferrell movie, but I do enjoy
It's
it.
it's the American in you, I think, maybe.
Oh no, it's Canada. Like people love it. I'm in a very
Okay.
very small minority. Trust me.
Huh. I
Don't get
can't
me
believe
wrong,
I
I
had
think
gone
actually-
that long that I'd never seen it.
I think he's a good actor in the. There's a couple of movies, Stranger Than Fiction.
That's an
Everything
amazing
Was Gone.
movie.
Now those two movies prove that he can act. I just do not get his sense of humor at
Man,
all.
I liked Will Ferrell on SNL, so
we
I
don't get that
think
over
he's
here,
funny.
so I couldn't. I don't. Yeah, we don't get Saturday Night Live.
He's
here,
had some of my favorite SNL skits of all time.
The-
have been Will
the-
Ferrell skits.
The one where Jimmy Fallon and the guy from Will and Grace are the guys working in the fashion store.
Yeah.
And Will Ferrell comes in on the buggy and is clearly trying not to laugh
Yeah.
as he picks up a phone that is smaller than his
That's,
fingernail.
that skit was one of the genesises for Zoolander.
Oh, really? I mean, it makes sense. It's just...
Wow.
So that skit, the skit where he and Horatio Sands are wedding singers, but they only learned "I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight" by cutting through. The skit. There's a skit with Pierce Brosnan when Pierce Brosnan was hosting SNL where he's interviewing with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell's the boss that's interviewing him for a job. And he's just like yelling and screaming at everybody mid-interview, and then mid-interview he stops and kills a guy with a trident. Like, it's yeah, he's had some excellent skits.
I think this is maybe not maybe people don't like this movie. The Other Guys.
Oh,
where
with
he's playing this
Marky
That
Mark.
movie I have not seen.
He's playing the straight man in that. It's Mark Wahlberg that's doing most of the comedy. Like he's not supposed. He's very straight-laced and not funny. It's whatever other people are doing. I mean, he yells a bit, of course, because it's Will Ferrell. But I love that movie. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I was just amazed. There are certain cultural touchstones I just do not hit, and that was one of them. Like I heard so many people talk about that movie, but I'd never seen it. Never seen it.
I think Talladega Nights is still my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Talladega Nights, the best PS3 launch game.
Man. Oh god, I just blanked. Shit. Don't worry about it.
You want me to talk about what's
It
coming
happened.
out this week? That's what I was going to do.
I mean, go ahead. Is
All
there
right.
anything interesting?
Oh, Anthony, you have no idea.
I don't, legitimately.
There are 2 games on this list that I believe you think you're going to review. So, but we'll start off. Hunting Simulator 2. This is for Series
there it
X
is.
and PS5, by the way.
Oh, wow. I
Hunting
can't play it.
Simulator 2.
Hunting
Wow.
Simulator 2. In case you didn't get enough of the first one, here's the second. We also got
Never
Dark.
even knew there was a first one.
Dark Complete Edition.
With a Q.
Yeah, with a Q. Sorry.
Oh, right.
Evil Inside. Here's an exciting one for me. Immortals Phoenix Rising Myths of the Eastern Realm is out this week. Space Base Startopia. The next gen upgrade for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 plus 2. It Takes Two. The Joseph Ferris game. That's one of the ones you think you're going to be reviewing.
Well, I mean, it was more of a, oh shit, I'm probably going to get stuck reviewing it. It does look good, though. I will give him credit. It does look really good.
And
So I'm not trying to be...
Balan Wonderworld is out.
Okay, only put me through one of these, okay, please?
Only
hand me-
one?
Just hand me Balan Wonderworld.
No, I'm giving you It Takes Two. I'm not trusting you with Balan Wonderworld.
You know I'm gonna hate it.
Are you
I already said the demo was bad. I doubt they fixed everything in the meantime.
See?
You think I'm gonna go easy on a game? It's Yuji Naka. Yuji Naka hasn't made a very good game in a long time.
All right, let's move on to PS4 and Xbox One. We've got
God,
Arkham...
that game looks so fucking bad.
Okay, you're reviewing It Takes Two. Arkham Arkham Horror Mother's Embrace. Overcooked All You Can Eat. Sanity of Morris. All right, you're gonna have to bear with me as I work through this one. Love Live School Idol Festival After School Activity Waiwa.
John, can you tell us about that? Seeing how it seems like it's up your alley.
No, I have no idea. I don't even know what words you just said.
Me either. I was just reading them. Black Legend, El Hijo, A Wild West Tale. Kaze and the Wild Masks. And let's switch over to Xbox. Is there anything that's only on Xbox? We got Clea 2. And 2 games. I want to say that wow, Octopath Traveler and Yakuza 6 The Song of Life are coming to Xbox this week.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
I'm excited to play
as well.
Octopath.
I'm
Jesus.
stoked to play Octopath, but we'll talk about that in the news. Let's save that for the news. Die with Glory, Genesis Noir, Ruvato Original Complex, and Tank Brawl 2 Armor Fury. Now, for the highlight of the week, Nintendo Switch release list. Take a breath here. Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. Tales from the Borderlands.
Olive Town.
Olive Town. Why not
Olive
take
Town.
all of me?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Tales from the Borderlands, Tank Battle Heroes, Golf.
Hang on. Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah,
The game from 2016.
Yeah, but remember the licensing went bad, and now they're bringing it back. So
I'm curious to know how much that's going to cost.
it's the whole thing, so I don't know. And it's on the Switch,
And
which
yeah,
means
they-
they can charge you whatever the fuck they want, and you'll pay it.
That'll be $40 then.
Golf Royale, Hail Breachers, Tesla Force, Barrage Fantasia, Bladed Fury, which we talked about earlier, Body Quest, Danger Scavenger, Future Aero Racing S Ultra, Get a Grip, Chip, Gold Digger, Cosmocrats,
Take my money. Sorry. Sorry.
Chris,
That was perfectly timed, John.
yeah,
Thank you.
Christopia, A Puzzle Journey, Little Kite, Maluk, Dark Demon, Mancala, classic board game, Mazim, The Phantom of the Opera, Mega Mall Story 2, Memories of Historia Volume 1, Paperball Deluxe, Rip Them Off, Scandal in the Spotlight. That sounds like it could have been the subtitle for Rip Them Off. The House in Fate Morgana Dreams of Revenants Edition, Tinker Racers, Toon Shooters 2 The Freelancers, Wild Park Manager. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Die with
Let
Glory.
me clear my throat.
Mermaid Castle, One Escape, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 finally coming to the Switch, and Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh, yeah, forgot that's coming out.
Yeah, I forgot that was coming out this week. So let's do news.
That's the one you end on. That should be the one you start on, really.
No, because then everything else before it, you forget.
I've forgotten them already.
We're moving on to news. We'll start with the Game Pass stuff. As we mentioned, Undertale is coming to Game Pass as we thought and was confirmed before we even put our show up last week. Outriders is coming to Game Pass day one.
Told you.
So, we'll get into the Square Enix thing later, but does anybody else on the show get the feeling that Square Enix don't give a fuck about Xbox?
Probably not. I don't know. Why do you say that
Well,
exactly?
So I'll give you two reasons. Number one, they showed a bunch of Outriders on that Square Enix thing, right?
Yeah.
They never ever mentioned it was coming to Xbox Game Pass.
I feel like. I mean, sure.
Marketing.
I don't know. Yeah.
Marketing deal with PlayStation.
Also, if you watch the Avengers Twitter, they only ever mention the PS5 version and the PS4 version.
That's a definitely
Marketing.
marketing deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Octopath Traveler was announced, which is also coming to Game Pass. Square Enix hasn't even
That's
put out a
incredible.
press release for it. They
But
haven't even
they are
mentioned.
running their own NFTs now, so let's just.
But I mean,
Fucking
is
hell.
it not weird that a game? And I know Ryan, you mentioned it, John. I know who expected a Nintendo Switch game
Nope.
to come
Well,
to the
it's on
Xbox.
PC, but I thought the console that would get missed off was the Xbox. If they were going to bring it to the consoles, it wouldn't be on the Xbox. I thought
But
it'd be on the PlayStation.
It's coming. It's coming to Game Pass, and Square Enix still hasn't even announced it.
This is weird.
Yeah. It's like Square
Yeah.
Enix does not like to say the word Xbox for some reason. Oh, that's weird.
It's,
Um,
it's cool that it is, though. That game is definitely worth checking out.
I mean, yeah, it's a fucking Game Pass, and it comes out in 3 days. Go play it. Undertale, which we mentioned, Yakuza 6, Song of Life, finally coming to Game Pass. Narita Boy is launching into Game Pass. So you can check that out. Empire of Sin, Star Wars Squadrons is coming. Genesis Noir, which we mentioned. And then 4 new games added to the PC Game Pass as well. Nier Automata, Torchlight 3, Pillars of Eternity Deadfire, and Superland.
Oh, the headline here: Xbox continues to be incredible value. Xbox Game Pass.
That was the announcements for this week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you sit here and you think about that, you're like, that's just what they announced this week. I go back to the beginning, like, people are always like, PlayStation Now is an equivalent of Game Pass. They announced 3 games were coming to PlayStation Now in the month of March. 3.
And
Yeah.
this week they'll be looking at April as well, so you'll probably get April's update.
Yeah,
The stuff that's
we'll
scheduled.
get April's update this week, which we've already got one. Outriders is launching in the Game Pass.
Yeah.
Game Pass is just stupid, man. It's so fucking good. I don't even understand how it's possible.
I don't know how. I mean, obviously there's complex business deals, but I don't know how. Just how on earth do they manage to get everything, every major publisher, almost every major publisher on board, and even launching big games and like Octopath Traveler and Outriders on their launch days. It's great for that console. It's crazy.
I know. It's like, I saw somebody tweet the other day, they were like, I may not buy any more games on the Xbox because I'll just play what's in Game Pass.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's great at this time at this current time, it's great because there isn't a lot of big games coming out. It's, things are slowed up because of the COVID stuff and development, games getting pushed back and development has been very slow going. New generation of consoles. Obviously, there's been a big thing about lack of games. So there isn't a huge amount of new stuff to play. So having that library there is, get to a point there's got to be over 200 games on that thing.
There's
something for everybody.
357.
They go, there's something for everybody. There's, it's incredible value.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. If you want to look at your achievements in the Xbox app, that's coming back.
Thank God, that was a stupid omission on when they updated that. That
Yep.
just seemed weird.
Now just let me buy stuff and we'll be good.
Oh, I kind of like the fact that you can actually download it to your console and then buy it when you launch. I don't mind that.
Ninja Gaiden, the Master Collection, will run at 4K 60 frames per second.
Oh, I can be shit at that game in 4K.
Yes, you will. Square Enix event showed off a bunch of new footage of Outriders, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure Game Pass is going to save that game. Because I don't think people were going to pay $60 for that game.
How long do we think it is before Marvel goes on there?
That's a PlayStation deal, so no.
Oh shit! Yeah, it'll be a while, won't it? Yeah. You're right.
I wouldn't be shocked if it was a PlayStation Plus game.
Hmm.
Maybe this summer.
Yeah.
I don't know. They showed off Battlefield Wonderworld. Anthony, shh, be quiet.
Boo!
Tomb Raider, the 25th anniversary trilogy, was announced that it's also on sale for $19.99. They didn't announce anything new for Tomb Raider. They just said here. Well, they announced a cookbook.
Oh, and they announced an anime with Netflix is coming, but
I mean,
no games.
what
which is
video
odd.
game is not getting an anime on Netflix?
But you would think something, a 25th anniversary is a big anniversary. You'd think there'd be something game related other than look, here's everything that we've already done for the past 10 years cobbled together. That just, maybe they'll save it for later.
Nah. They did announce the new, casting for the second movie, too, didn't they? Like somebody
Are
joined
they
the...
still going ahead with that?
Yeah, because I heard her name during that presentation. I can't say her name, I apologize.
Alicia Vikander.
Vikander?
Vikander.
Vikander, okay.
think.
They showed the roadmap for Marvel's Avengers, which included Black Panther is coming later this year.
Don't show your fucking roadmaps because
Yes,
you're only
yes.
going to have to delay them.
Well, they
I'm
didn't
gonna
put
say-
dates on it.
Sorry?
They didn't put dates on it.
Well,
They put they put 2021 for, or they put fall for Black Panther. That's not going to happen.
and they also said that Black Panther will be coming before Spider-Man for the PlayStation.
Yeah. So all those
Also,
people that were
what I
like
found-
that bought it for the PlayStation to get Spider-Man, they're going to be not playing it anymore once Spider-Man finally comes out.
Right.
What I found interesting, and maybe I'm reading too much into this, but when they were doing the Marvel stuff, they said, "Oh, we've got the update coming out, and that's going to have your story arc for your Hawkeye." And then they specifically said that the Black Panther expansion was coming, and I'm thinking, are they going to charge for that?
No, characters are always free.
Characters?
Well,
But
every character
the
that's
way
been
they-
released so
the way
far
they
comes
said
with a campaign.
Yeah, it just seemed really weird that they used that word expansion. I don't know why. Something triggered in my brain thinking, are they going to charge for that or try and charge?
Well,
for
I've got
that?
news
But
for
maybe
you,
I'm-
John. If they try to charge for any expansion in Marvel, it ain't going to sell. So there is
Completely
that.
agreed. I don't know. It just was a weird way they said it, and that just maybe I'm reading too much into it.
They announced 2 new mobile games, Hitman Sniper Assassins, which is weird because I thought Square didn't have the Hitman IP anymore.
I don't know if it's a Hitman IP.
It's Hitman Sniper Assassins.
Yeah, it doesn't say it's the. I mean, you can call a game Hitman Sniper Assassins and it not be to do with Hitman.
Okay.
Hitman isn't.
They-
The word Hitman is not copyrighted. The game Hitman is.
There is. Give me a minute.
I mean, it's
I'll
straight
find it
fucking.
then.
That trailer was straight fucking Hitman. Like, it even had the woman doing the over voice and all that stuff. Anyway, they also announced Just Cause Mobile.
God.
Oh.
Because of course, if there's a one massive breakout title that would sort of really hammer home how much quality Square are putting into their mobile titles, it's Just Cause. Ugh.
I have to look this up. How bad is it?
What? Just Cause Mobile?
Just cause mobile.
I don't even think they showed gameplay. I think it was just fucking
No, it's all
CGI shit.
Also,
But it just
so I did decide to look up Hitman. So I was gonna say I remember Hitman Sniper. It is related to the Hitman games,
okay. There you go.
but it's made from the same team that did Hitman Go. So and Hitman Go is still available under the Square Enix license.
I'm pretty sure that they get to keep the license to all the past games, but Hitman 3 was self-published.
Maybe
Yes.
they've just decided that they're going to farm out the name to Square so they can put it on a mobile. I don't know.
I'm
Just
guessing
seems
it
weird.
was in development before they left. So it was part of a contract.
Maybe. Yeah.
And then they finally named Project Athia. It's called Forspoken.
Forspoken.
What the fuck is what?
Forspoken.
To
Now,
be fair, I thought they were just going to call it Athica because that's their normal habit, isn't it? Project Athica? Isn't that called Athica? Yeah.
Project Athia. It's not Athica.
Athia. Same
John
thing.
standing outside Square Enix yelling, Athica! Athica!
I've been outside their building. It's huge.
Stupid name aside, the game looked kind of rad.
It does look pretty good.
Yeah, I'll play that.
The name is dumb.
Yeah, the name is fucking stupid. But any trailer that starts with, is that a motherfucking dragon? I'll play that game.
They should have said it in the Two Worlds universe and called it Forsooth.
Forsooth, yes. And then finally, Life is Strange True Colors, the next entry into the Life is Strange series. It will be released all at once. There will not be like chapters released over time. And they also announced they're bringing Life is Strange, the remastered collection, as well, to everything.
I don't know how I
Never
feel
really
about that.
got into those games.
I thought they were boring as shit, but that's just me.
I love
Drew
that
loved
first
them.
game. That first game is fuck. That first game gets so fucking weird. Oh, so good. But I don't know why they would need to be remastered. My fear is that they're gonna make them look more realistic when they had a very stylized look.
Well, by
And
the
I
looks of the
don't-
trailer, it's the same engine they've made 3 in, so it is going to be like, I think it's just a case of
I mean, 2.
upping the one that's being released. It looks like it's the same engine.
Oh, you mean, got it. Okay, yeah. Life
Yeah,
is
so
Strange. Got it.
Life is
Understand what you're
Strange, True Colors it looks like it's the same engine as that, so it probably was easy enough for them to do.
saying.
Also coming to
And it's-
Stadia and Switch as well.
Oh, fucking Stadia.
Why?
It's not Dotenod, so this will be the second time. I mean, they're not doing it going forward, I think, either, but this will be the second time they haven't.
It seems like a weird thing, like for a game that's straight story driven, to go somewhere else. Is that just me?
Well, I mean, only the first games. I think the first game worked because of its being time travel mechanics. I like the idea of it, but I'm like, okay, so it's emotions and colors and stuff, and like that means that she has synesthesia, but it's like I don't think it's gonna work. This like 2 wasn't talked about the same way 1 was. It's like, because the time travel portion of it is what made it interesting, and the other powers don't work like that. I don't know.
Is Before the Storm 2, or is there another one?
Before the Storm is a prequel to 1.
It's not
and
2.
there's
It's not like. So there
No.
was another. There was another Life is
Yes,
Strange.
Life is
after.
Strange
Okay.
2.
Okay, I don't follow the games that much. I didn't know if that
But
was 2.
And Before the Storm didn't use powers, so he was like, okay, all right. And then 2 had its own powers and stuff, and it's just, I don't know, it's just not the same. So it'll be
Okay.
interesting.
So we mentioned before the show, Gotham Knights has been pushed to 2022.
Yeah. But
I mean, it's not the first, and it won't be the last game delayed out of this year.
I just get the feeling that Gotham Knights is going to be Marvel Avengers.
Oh God,
we
I
were
hope
saying
not.
that before the show as well.
If it is, then it's going to die on the vine.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, Ken, they've got a couple of years to maybe, if that is what they're thinking, to write that course. But who knows?
Just, it looks like, based on the gameplay footage that we saw, it looks, I don't know. We'll see. I'll reserve judgment until we see more of it. But
The new Cyberpunk patch 1.2 is on its way, and they introduced it with like an in-game news story.
great. Let me know when the next gen patch hits, and then I'll care.
The fact that that's a whole thing is a whole, his.
I still don't feel like that game is out.
blows my mind.
I don't know if it's just me. I still don't feel
Yeah,
like that game has been released.
No, when they release the next gen patch, I'll be interested. I'll go back to it, but because by then, hopefully, all of the glaring massive issues will have been fixed. But that is, it's such a story, isn't it? Coming from being probably the most praised developer, for how they treat their fans, and off the back of the Witcher series and especially Witcher 3, to then have that, it's kind of an EA level of turn from from Battlefront 2 for and loot boxes and shit, just to be hated that much because of a poorly marketed and poorly timed release of a game. They should have just left it. Fuck stock shareholders. Just release it when it's fucking ready.
Did you just make heel turn into EA turn for video games?
Oh, yeah, it
I
worked.
turned EA.
Y'all playing
Well, it was a
Anthem?
long-
What's the equivalent of turning face then?
Well, no, it's like EA's got a long history, but they obviously went from being hated to them being loved to now being hated. They have certainly a sordid history with gamers, but it stands out with CD Projekt Red because they had so much goodwill from the last games that they did to burning it all literally in one go. It's incredible.
I guess turning face right now, Anthony, would probably be Microsoft.
I don't know.
Everything they're doing right now is trying to appease you.
You're right, but a bunch of people on the internet also think you're an asshole for saying that. So
You know
I
what?
don't know if that's
A bunch of
turning
people
face.
on the internet are 40-year-olds worried about plastic box wars. I'm not worried about it. Fucking grow the fuck up. I saw the best quote this week.
Sorry.
No, I saw the best quote this week, and it made so much sense to me now that I think about it. I saw somebody say, when you pay to keep a game off of another console, that does not benefit you as a gamer. Whereas when somebody pays to put a game on a service like Game Pass, that does benefit you as a gamer. And I was just like, you're right. Like, when you champion paying, like, I don't care who does it, whoever pays for, like, this game can only show up on my console for 6 months, like, that doesn't benefit anybody except the company, so why would you celebrate that? It just makes no sense to me. But anyway.
Fanboy wars are weird.
I don't get them at all. Like, I saw the arguments over the Avengers patch, and I'm like, who the fuck cares? It's the Avengers! Like, are you championing an extra 5% resolution over that fucking game? Like, come on.
Well, it certainly is a hill to die on, that's for sure.
Yeah, go die on that hill. I'll just go play video games, because whatever.
Yeah.
Here's one to make you feel old. The Simpsons just hit its 1,000th episode.
Crazy.
Bloody hell.
1,000. That's a lot of nuts.
Jesus. That's a lot.
Imagine having like
A lot of
100
nuts.
good episodes, you know?
Oh,
That is, yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD. Release date May 25th.
I expected like a GX
Well, I mean, you can read the
Fight the World subtitle to that or something.
Plus Alpha.
featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
It does,
And
doesn't
Knuckles.
it?
Yes, it does. Although I can't recall how they're doing. I think we get Dante, and then you have to pay for the character that was in the original Japanese version, which is the character from Devil Summoner.
Oh yeah, Devil Summoner.
But I don't know if you get the Devil Summoner character and then you have to pay for the Dante DLC. One of them you have to pay for.
I don't know.
And you have to choose, I think, too. You can't have both of them at the same time, so it's dumb.
Starbreeze has announced that Payday 3 is coming in 2023, and they finally got funding. Guess from who?
Sony.
Nope.
And Tencent.
It's that other company that has infinite money,
Ease.
that Embracer Group.
Embrace Group. That's the one I was thinking
Yep.
of. Yeah, Embrace.
I thought Starbreeze was fully done, so
Yeah, I thought they had closed their doors.
They're back.
yeah, they aren't the same team they used to be. A lot of them work at Machine Headed.
Payday's coming, y'all.
Great.
Yeah,
I
man.
really liked the Darkness and Chronicles of Riddick.
All right.
Back to that.
I've got the what the fuck moment in news right now. Sony has purchased the EVO Championship Series fighting game tournament.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that we can't have right now.
Sony bought
Cool.
EVO.
Which is super weird. I mean, I guess Killer Instinct won't be an Evo game then. Yeah, that's
They have said that they're not cutting any games out yet. The games from
Yeah,
all
whatever.
platforms are still welcome.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I call bullshit.
I
Truthfully,
just don't see why you'd buy it and then eliminate
It's just
popular games.
Well, I
That
don't
doesn't
see
make
why
sense.
you'd buy it anyway.
yeah,
I mean,
I don't see why you buy it anyway. It doesn't
But
make
if,
a ton
but
of
if you're
money.
going to buy it, I don't know why you would eliminate games that
Wouldn't-
people like. Like, why would you buy it and then say you can only play Sony exclusive fighting games when nobody gives a shit about your fighting games?
I mean, this
I
is
gotta-
the company that has that has Street Fighter V exclusive. Because
Right,
sure.
but they're not going to turn Evo just into a Street Fighter tournament.
Well, I don't think
Buy it
it's-
to turn it into a Street Fighter tournament.
I don't think it's. I think you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. I don't think. So basically, I don't think Smash or Killer Instinct are going to be there. Which I don't think.
I completely disagree.
I think Nintendo's not going to do Evo anymore anyway because the Smash community's getting a little hot and heavy with the sexual.
Well, I
assault
was going to
allegations.
say I wouldn't
Well, I
use
think
those terms.
There's
I wouldn't use
probably a
hot and heavy.
difference, though. There's a difference between Smash Brothers isn't going to be at Evo because Nintendo doesn't want it there,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Smash
yeah.
Brothers isn't going to be at Evo because Sony bought it and says they can't. Smash is pretty popular at Evo. I can't imagine Sony would spend the money to buy Evo and then get rid of one of the exclusive games. If Nintendo's willing to have it there, I got to imagine Sony's going to be willing to let them have it there.
I mean, I guess we'll see.
It's one of the draws. It would be like me buying WWE and saying, "Okay, Roman Reigns doesn't have a job anymore because I don't like him."
I mean,
And he's still
I mean,
popular. He's
I was
still a
gonna say-
draw.
I was going to say some people would definitely clap to that.
Not anymore. He's doing well now.
Oh, is he? Okay. Just say the last
Yeah.
time I ever checked in, it was pretty bad.
I agree with what you're saying, Ryan. But I also would not be surprised if Sony was just like, "No, this is our ball now. We're gonna go home." Like that
But
wouldn't.
I mean, like,
That wouldn't shock me either.
not to
Feels
be
like assigning characteristics to a corporation of its fanboys, and I just don't think the corporation of Sony is going to cut out something like Smash Brothers because it's a Nintendo property.
I mean,
It
maybe.
doesn't make sense. It doesn't make business sense to me.
Now, can I ask a question? What part of Sony bought Evo?
It was announced on the PlayStation Twitter. And let's
Oh.
be fair, Sony
mean, it's
basically only has PlayStation anymore. Like that's their big business now.
I mean, I don't know about that because a lot of those Japanese companies do weird shit that we don't ever see. Like, one of them was an insurance company. Might be like still like they do a lot of different things. So I don't know about that, but it's like I guess the same question could be asked about like why do you buy Bethesda? Give me a second to finish here.
I didn't
if I'm
say
more cut in.
nothing.
No, I can feel it once I say that though. Why would you buy Bethesda and remove half of the console market? Right? Like I get you're forcing everybody into your environment, but at the same time, like you don't spend that sort of money to then just instantly drop half the profits.
You do
Right.
if your intention is to move people into Game Pass and get people to buy your console, so more of them move into Game Pass. Evo is different. Evo, the reason you buy Evo is to get people to Evo. So what you're describing is actually the opposite. It would be like Xbox buying Bethesda and then dramatically reducing the number of games they produce only on Xbox.
I don't know. The whole thing is just like to me, it's like I don't see them doing it, but at the same time, like it's such a weird and odd purchase that maybe they have some weird vision. Like, you know, they bought OnLive when, and then what was the other one?
Oh,
I don't
Gaikai.
Gaikai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When that was not a thing people were thinking about. It didn't make sense to necessarily buy them, but they bought them.
Well, the Gaikai thing it did because they were looking at streaming, but
But what I'm saying is, though, like at a time where streaming had failed, and I realize the irony of saying that with, but like that was a thing that would have been like, why would you buy that? We're gonna try to do streaming games. Well, you just bought a company that failed, right? So I don't
Yeah, they
know.
bought
They
it
might
for the
have some
tech,
weird
though.
thought process.
They bought On Live and Gaikai for the technology. They didn't buy them for the business strategy.
But I don't know what Evo has to offer that side of things.
Well, the
Yeah,
question
no,
is,
again, I don't.
do they charge to stream Evo today? Like, do you have to pay to stream to watch Evo today?
No.
No.
I mean,
Maybe there's
you can watch it on Twitch for free. Like they have different channels for different stages.
Yeah.
Here's
Maybe there's an opportunity
a funny piece of irony. What if Sony bought Evo and then like next month? I know, stop with your keyboard warriors. Next month, Microsoft announced they bought Capcom and Street Fighter 6 is exclusive to Xbox.
Well, I would
That'd be
guess
pretty
that Sony
embarrassing.
would try to work with Xbox to get Street Fighter 6 at Evo.
No, I know. I was just.
That would be funny.
It would make me laugh.
There's mutual benefit to fighting game manufacturers and the fighting game tournament to have as many fighting games there as you can.
Sure,
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I just wonder if it's going to happen because Evo was kind of shit before. They kicked Killer Instinct out years ago.
Yeah.
And they don't like
don't
Mortal
understand.
Kombat either. Mortal Kombat wasn't there last year.
I just it is an odd purchase. I can't. I see what Anthony's saying. I think with things like Gaikai and whatnot, there was a technical reason. I don't know what that reason is with this. Because they don't have their own. They don't have their own fighting game. You know, it's very Street Fighter
PlayStation
5
Battle All Stars, John.
It's coming back. Remaster. Just a weird one.
Yeah. All right. Friday, Xbox is partnering with Twitch for an indie game showcase showing up to 100 new games and including games coming to Game Pass.
Nice.
So you can tune into that on Friday. Scarlet Nexus release date June 25th. So I
I'm
got
not sure about that game.
it's one of those Bamco anime games. I'm sure it's fucking boilerplate at this point. So I caught wind of this morning. Is this going to be another story that kind of starts on Sunday, and then when people listen to the show on Monday, will have been announced, and we're like, whatever. So a user on Twitter discovered that in the latest alpha build for the Xbox dashboard, that it is no longer referred to as Xbox Live. Within the dashboard, it is now called the Xbox Network. Now, on top of that, if you go look at Major Nelson's profile now, it is no longer says he is Xbox Live's Major Nelson, it just says he's Xbox's Major Nelson. So are there changes coming to Xbox Live soon?
Could be.
Possibly. Let's face it, they're not. They have been trying to steer people away from Xbox Live into Game Pass for the past year or so. Some in some good ways and some not so bad, like doubling the charge or trying to double the price of it. It wouldn't surprise me if they, they don't want the name Xbox Live doesn't carry the kind of weight it used to. They now want people to associate Xbox and services with Game Pass. So that, it wouldn't surprise me.
Hey, they said they were getting rid of the paywall for free-to-play games. When the fuck is that happening?
I thought it already had.
Well, it happened for one game, I think. Like, it's not across the board yet. I still don't think you can play Fortnite if you don't have Xbox Live.
Okay. Fair enough.
I
Maybe this
don't
is
know.
it. Maybe this is the turning point that the switch goes off and...
Well, they had to know
free-to-play
that putting that, like, that had to be a conscious decision to change that in the dashboard, and knowing that people would have it in this, like, preview build, they had to know this was going to surface. So, like, why call it Xbox Network instead of Xbox Live?
I don't know.
So, I don't know. I wonder if this
Keep
is...
an eye out.
I wonder if this is another one of those things we talk about on Sunday, and then Monday morning, like, boy, those guys are fucking stupid. This shit was just announced. Anyway, I don't have anything else. Does anybody else have any other news?
So I'm looking into the Evo thing and trying to figure out why possibly that they own it. Now, of course, we know who Sony is, so that's not really. I'm not. Yeah. But they are in a partnership. They're splitting it basically. Sony owns half, and a company called RTS owns half.
Was that the company who owned it before?
No, the company that owned it before was Triple Perfect Incorporated. However, this new company, RTS, is owned by Endeavor, who leads a group that owns Ultimate Fighting Championship, Miss Universe, and a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
It represents the NFL and NHL.
Huh. They got a couple dollars.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Sony has to gain out of this, but I can clearly see what Endeavor wants out of it.
Well, they gain a share of the revenue and a chance to
yeah.
advertise their stuff at Evo.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Exclusively if they want to.
I mean, it's whatever assets Evo has is partially theirs, of course, but it's like, I know, again, I can understand why RTS has it, because that means that they have basically the biggest things in their genres, right?
Yeah.
You aren't getting a competitor to Evo anytime soon. But yeah, the Sony one is just, again, it's a little odd because it's not like they have their own fighting game, which I think would make this seem like it makes a lot more sense than it does right now. But maybe they have something in the works, right? God knows.
I'm working on a new.
Well, and two, they probably think that eventually there's a chance to maybe get. So the big thing right now, and to bring the wrestling parallels back again, the big thing right now is content rights and the opportunity to present live content, because there's not a whole lot of places that make live content, and TV networks are desperate for live content. So there's also an opportunity that maybe Sony feels like they may be able to put together a television deal associated with Evo at some point in the future.
They're going to stream it on Crackle.
Or get a network to pay for it because it's live content. And the networks pay for live content right now.
Didn't Evo run on ESPN last year?
Maybe.
Like some of it? I think it did.
Parts of it, yeah.
I'm going to create my own competition for Evo, though, Anthony. I want you to know. I'm going to start up now if you want to get in on the ground level. It's called Friday Night Phony Fights.
No, for fuck's sake.
No, that's SmackDown. That's WWE SmackDown.
Okay.
It's Friday Night Phony Fights.
Damn it. Now I got to come up with a new name. Thanks.
Bullshit Jamboree.
Thanks, Vince McMahon. Thanks. All right, I'm going over to Twitter. David wants to say, Snyder Cut, even though super long, took 3 days to watch. I thought was way better than what came out in theaters. Thing that sucks is what may have been going toward is no longer happening. Yeah, we talked a lot about that before the show.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it again, but I agree with him. It's much better, and what the fuck are you doing teasing us with shit that's not going to happen unless it's going to happen?
I mean, it made 4x3 trend on Twitter. People were so mad about the format. I'm like, dude, I forgot about it 20 minutes in.
2 minutes, you completely forget that you're watching 4x3.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like I turn my lights down, I turn on like my LED light, and I'm sitting there watching. And I was like, I don't even remember it was in 4x3.
Don't tell any of the nerds that used to come in and buy DVDs when DVDs first came out that you forget that it's in 4:3 after 2 minutes.
Yeah. What's the black bars on the top and the bottom of my screen?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There were two types of DVD buyers when DVD buyers first started. There was, I have to have this in widescreen because nothing else makes sense. And there was what the hell's the black bars at the top and bottom of my screen?
I remember the black bar. Like, we're old enough to remember the black bar conversation. People bring them. I think the movie's broken. They've got black bars on the top and the bottom, and I don't understand why they're there.
Every time that conversation comes up, it reminds me of you guys know Mitch Hedberg, the comedian?
Yeah.
Right? He's talking about Kit Kat, and he's like, Kit Kat candy bar has the words Kit Kat imprinted into the candy bar. That robs you of chocolate. I'm gonna go to the Kit Kat factory and say, "You owe me some letters." That's what the widescreen conversation reminds me of. He's like, my movie's cut off at the top and the bottom.
I'm missing part of the movie.
It's not actually cut off. I think there's something wrong with my television or my DVD player.
Oh,
Big black bars at the top and bottom of the screen.
oh, shit.
That robs you a movie.
I so remember that conversation. I think I remember my parents the first time they saw like a widescreen movie. My dad's like, "What the hell are these black bars, man?"
There are a few things that will reliably make me laugh every time. Ken McCown's impression of his own dad makes me laugh every time.
If you ever met my dad, you will never forget him. He is just one of those people that when he talked, you just listened because he's always like, "I'm telling you, man, God damn it, man."
Oh, that's great stuff.
Oh shit. Anyway, Joseph says, "I was wondering if the fast food gurus have tried the McDonald's chicken sandwich remastered."
I have not. I intend to, but I have not.
Are you gonna go regular or spicy?
I don't know. May try both.
Yeah,
Not at the same time, obviously, but
I see it on the menu, and I'm like, man, that looks good. But then, of course, the picture has the bun all buttered up, and you know that ain't the shit you're gonna get.
no, for sure not.
So I'll try it eventually. I love a good chicken sandwich. I still think Chick-fil-A has the best chicken sandwich, but
Oh, you and I are in disagreement there. I definitely like Popeye's chicken sandwich better.
I did not care. I don't like the. I don't know what it is about like those big. Fucking. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. It looks like a fucking French poodle, like the breading.
Brioche bun.
Yeah.
you use the word French poodle to describe a brioche bun.
To be fair, I think McDonald's has a brioche bun too, so you
Yeah.
may not like it if you don't like those.
Anyway, I'm still on the Chick-fil-A train. You know, regardless of their stance on
I
certain
like
things.
Wendy's.
You like Wendy's chicken?
Oh yeah, spicy
Sandwich
chicken
is upset.
sandwich from
Yeah, Wendy's
it's not
spicy
bad.
chicken sandwich is pretty good.
bite into it. You can see the steam come off of it because it's that hot. Perfect. I mean, it's not my personally like Harvey's, but that's not in the
Harvey's?
States. Yeah.
Canada, Harvey's, you know.
Yeah, I've never heard of Harvey's. I believe you, but
I've had
Canadians
Harvey's.
got weird stuff. So
I had a burger at Harvey's. I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat their burgers.
Yeah, the
but I
burger
don't
was
eat
not
burgers,
very
really.
was not very good.
You get buffalo chicken sandwiches from Harvey's. They're great.
Man, now I want chicken.
go get you some.
I might get some chicken after this. Question is, what do I get? That's the real question. Mookie says, I recently played The Outer Worlds for the first time, and man, bought the game plus the Game Pass. I miss these type of gaming experiences. Fallout 4 can't top them dark humors on this one.
That's fair. The writing is better in
It's top notch, yeah. It is.
Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough. There was too much of the "I'm looking to find my son" crap in Fallout 4.
Jason! Jason!
I mean, the best parts are with Nick Valentine, to the point where one of the DLCs in Fallout 4 was basically built around him. So
Yeah, I spent a ton of time in Fallout 3. I never finished Fallout 4. I put probably, 15 hours in that, and then never went back and finished it.
way better shooting, but boy, that just not the best mission has you helping robots that are on a pirate ship, and once you're done that, you go, oh, nothing else is going to do anything like that, is it? No. The answer is no. Nothing's going to do anything like that.
And I just didn't care about the settlement stuff either, which didn't help.
Oh no, all that settlement stuff just felt like padding.
Do you want to build things? No. No, I do not. I want to walk in places, steal everything, kill everything dead, and leave.
Yeah.
And maybe have a good story told to me through environmental cues.
Right.
God F1 2020, the last version before the dev was bought by EA. Hashtag RIP. Yeah, how does that work? Now, did EA get, like, The
If
fucking
they're still Codemasters and Codemasters has the license, like if they aren't turned into another company, I think they still have the license because technically Codemasters still exists.
I don't know. I know they'll be rebranded EA something.
Yeah, if they're rebranded, I think they might actually lose it.
Maybe then EA should not rebrand them.
Yeah, I think they'll remain Codemasters for a significant amount of time. They
Until
may
they close
eventually
the studio.
disappear. Well, I mean, Criterion still exists to some extent. But the name does.
The name does, but yeah.
Yeah, I know they haven't made anything.
They went off.
outside of
The people that used to work at Criterion broke off and made Budget Burnout, and it was not very good.
Yeah.
The latest.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say quickly. If this was a little side thing that most people didn't pay attention to, but does anybody remember the game Rune?
Rune.
Viking game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rune 2 came out. Does anybody remember that coming out?
I barely remember Rune coming out, to be honest
Exactly.
with you.
So
Exactly.
Rune 2 came out and was made by
Shabadoo?
Human Head? Was that the studio that did Prey
Yes.
back in the day?
Yes.
So Human Head made it and then dissolved their company to then start up the next day under a different name of Bethesda to get out of a contract, I think. Because the publisher of Rune 2 was left with an incomplete game. They didn't fill all the obligations.
Fun.
But it's a different company. So, I mean, how does that work? I don't know. Yep.
Oh.
Fun
Weird.
times.
Legal shit.
The latest update of Cyberpunk from CD Projekt Red. Still not satisfied to go back. Just put the Game Plus already. Anybody got shot already? That feeling the day after really sucks, but I'm glad I finally did it.
Not yet.
yeah.
No,
Yeah, the day after
Unfortunately-
is a killer.
unfortunately, I'm going to miss out on. So Ohio is opening up everybody 40 plus, or opened up everybody 40 plus this last Friday, and I am 5 months short of 40.
Ha ha! Fuck you.
I'm going to just miss my cutoff, so I got to wait until it opens up for the entire population at the end of the month. So it may be a while before I get my shot, and I'm going to be one of the only people in my family circle that doesn't have it, so that'll be disappointing.
Yeah, my wife is going tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to schedule this week. I don't know. I'm going to try to schedule a Friday, because I want to be prepared if I'm sick over the weekend. So
Yeah.
I'm going to try to schedule. But yeah, she's 8:30 tomorrow morning. She's getting her first shot.
Nice.
She will feel
Which
like
one?
crap on Tuesday.
I do not know which one it is, but it's one of the 2 shots, so it's definitely not the Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, generally speaking, the folks I've talked to that have had the Pfizer shot have had less side effects than the Moderna one, but even still, it hasn't been too bad.
Yeah, most people I hear is like either their arm hurts or they get groggy for a day or two. John had it, so...
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which one did you have, John?
The something Oxford one. They're different to what you get. But I felt like I had mine done on the Saturday morning, and Sunday I could not move off the sofa. I felt like real shit. Then it went, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's short-lived. It's kind of like the flu shot, if it affects
I'm glad
you.
I've established that as just my way of living, so I won't notice a difference.
Yeah, they see there's always a benefit to that sort of stuff.
I won't see one for quite some time. I'm going to be the canary in the coal mine for the 4th wave, I guess. I won't see one until August at the earliest.
This my wife sent me
I had my second by then.
Yeah, mine. My wife said something about sent me a picture last night of an article of like cats and dogs showing up with COVID now.
I mean, that's early on. They caught a tiger or something like that in a zoo. They caught somehow.
Fucking shit's crazy. He said that shot though got me all hungrier. I might pork it out next week. Give me all them fat and sugar.
That's right.
Finally, he says, nice immature sexual humor there, Ken and baby boy John. A moment there brought me back to one of the good times of the radio. Add that with Futter, and it's going to break the internet.
What was we being immature about?
It was the puss.
Oh.
It's funny that it tickles him now, and he starts chuckling about it.
Well, what tickles me even more is that if you download the game on Xbox, it's actually not called Puss, it's called Puss ! But on the exclamation mark is so big that it actually looks like pussy.
Oh my God, John!
It does. Have a look at the Xbox app if you don't believe me. But it's the way, because it's an exclamation mark, it looks like pussy.
It's the French pronunciation, poussoir or something.
Oh dear.
So what'd you expect? I'm 12.
Yeah.
Even though I'm eligible for a vaccine, I'm 12.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is all the tweets I have. That is all the news that I have. Unless anybody has anything else. Nothing. All right. You can follow the site at N4G, or the show at N4G Podcast. You can shoot us emails to podcast@ztgd.com. You can follow us on Twitter. John is at JohnWK.com. John WK. Ryan is at Wombat RP. I am at ZTGD, and the site's ZTGD Content. Check out Phoenix Down this past week as Anthony and Drew played a little Robert Stack.
It was an episode. We could have talked for another hour. I had to go to work at the end, but I'm like, okay, I gotta go, man. We have to wrap this shit up now.
I mixed that episode together, and it was like 2 hours and 40 minutes. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Just
the picture though is cracking me up.
The picture Drew reminded me of that picture existing, and it's like the first hit on Google when we were looking for him. Oh man, the kid that pretended to be a doctor, so he opened up a practice and had like a vanity headshot done of him in the doctor outfit.
But yeah, go check that episode out, and then Lost Odyssey continues this week. Which, by the way, if you don't own it yet, that game is on sale on Xbox Live for like $4 or something. So
didn't they give that away free at one point? I'm sure that's how I got it.
Maybe.
There's a surprise, John.
Yeah, John owns everything that was free.
Free. He goes back through Costco multiple times to get the free samples. They're like, sir, you can just take two at the same time.
We don't have a Costco, so nah.
Well, here's the thing: is if John had to pay for the vaccine, he would have been like, "I'll wait till it's free."
Yeah, that is absolutely the case. But I live in the UK, and we have
sorry,
the NHS.
You were taking the free samples at Tesco's.
Tesco. Well, there you go. Look at that. Well done.
Aldi.
Yes.
Those are the two I know.
Well, we got Aldi. We got Aldi here.
Yeah, we got Aldi here.
We don't in Canada.
Well, you don't have anything in Canada. All you got is fucking Harvey's. That's all I ever hear.
Moose.
Just one. Just one big fat fucking moose.
One moose. One moose is responsible for 87% of the Canadian economy.
Have you ever seen two moose at the same time? No, that's because there's only one.
There's only one. Yeah.
He just makes his way around Canada.
He's hollering.
It's actually one just moving really fast.
It's the moose, and whenever you catch him on film and you ask, like, where's all the other moose? He's like, there can be only one.
He's the Highlander moose.
That's right. The only way you can kill him is if you cut his head off. Oh my God, John, are you still on this?
Does that not look like pussy to you?
It definitely 100% does.
I was going to make the joke, John.
100% does.
I was going to make the joke.
What you don't know is that John has sent us Georgia O'Keeffe paintings.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
God.
It's not quite, quite how you remember
That's
them
going to
all.
tickle me all day.
This whole thing is just really falling apart.
I mean, at least it waited an hour and 40 minutes before it went,
Yeah.
before it all falls apart.
By this whole thing, I mean my entire life and all the choices I made.
You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay if everything falls apart. Anyway, that's it for the show this week. We'll be back next week with more video games. Anyway, peace.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.
Epic fail. Welcome to the N4G podcast. $0.
This is going to be a very interesting episode.
Gather time.
Greetings, programs. I got lost trying to find my way to the secret underground N4G Radio lair.
The Wombat. And
I'm always looping angry.
Killer Wolverine. Play games, not consoles. No fanboys allowed.
And then I killed the dragon. 8.0.
Killed the dragon.